well in quarantine and you have enough food and toilet paper, because I guess that's a currency now. We're doing all right here. I wish I could see you all again face to face. Unfortunately, I mean, like I told you all on Thursday, we probably should have known this was inevitable. I was hoping it wouldn't be, but hey, I am going to miss you all. I love teaching face to face, but we will definitely make this online thing work. Okay, the important thing is that you all get as much as you can from this class, given this new situation. So the thing is you all signed up for a face-to-face class, and that's a fact. But we're gonna have to make online work, and for it to work, I'm going to put in 100% effort, and I expect you all to give me back 100% as well. Okay, so just a couple of things before we get started. This is one of my co-stars. Her name is Leia. My kids are not here right now, otherwise you'd probably see them running in and out of camera. This is Leia. She is 13. She's a poodle mixed with something else. She's deaf. She's going blind. Her she's suffering from liver failure. She has arthritis. She has a bad back, bad knee, bad little legs, pancreatitis. What else is wrong with her? Okay, anyway, she's a little lemon dog, but she's a good dog and we love her. Oh, thank you, Leia. And she's deaf, as I don't know if I mentioned that, so she's a good dog, but she'll be hanging around with us for a little bit. You'll meet everyone else as the lectures continue. Thank you, Leia. So for today's lecture, we are going to go over the horror terror trope. Okay, it's going to be really fun. This is going to be a really fun lecture that we are going to have. But before we get started, we do have a bit of housekeeping to go through. This is going to be a little longer than I want it to be, but I do want to go over several aspects of this new class so that everyone is on the same page. Okay, so the first thing that you all are going to notice is that your Blackboard homepage has changed a bit. The first thing you're going to see are a video lecture tab. Here I will be posting the lectures on Sunday and on Wednesdays. Okay, they will be up. You will be able to look at them. If you don't want to go on here, they will have their own YouTube channel. Okay, because I want to look important and I don't have a YouTube channel, and you all can download them from there as well. Okay, the next thing you're going to see right here are class discussions. I thought about what we should do and how I should grade you all, in lieu of attendance. Obviously, I am not going to have class every Tuesday and Thursday at noon because y'all might have something to do. What if you can't make it? We're not going to do that. This format will work best, I think. On the class discussions, this is where it might get a little complicated, okay? So I want you guys to bear with me. For the class discussions, if we click on there, okay, you're going to see several discussions that have already been posted. The one for today is obviously horror terror. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to click on it, and everyone right here, okay, you're going to see that everybody has their own thread. So what you're going to do is you're going to find your name. So for example, I have Madeline Carrasco, Choni, Miriam Bayan Espinosa, Ale, the other Madeline, Ariadna, etc. Okay, just find your name, click on it. Okay, in here, you're going to post a discussion. Pick 2 points, maybe 3 points of whatever I'm lecturing. You're going to go on it. You're going to talk about it. Tell me your opinion. If you agree, if you disagree, tell me why. Okay, keep it clean. Okay. Okay, once you do this, and it's going to be a lot longer than this, I will go in there, I will respond to it, and you're done. That's it. You don't have to respond back to me. I just want to make sure that you've watched the lecture, you've read the works, and that you understand it. Okay, here on this discussion, you can also say, you know what, I really didn't get this part. Can you clear it up for me? And I will clear it up as well. Okay, if that's what you all want to do. But this is something that we're going to have to do after every lecture. This is, of course, not what we would do in a face-to-face class because I would have you all in front of me. But unfortunately for online, this will have to happen. This is easier than you think. Okay, and I expect you all to be able to do this. Now, you can maybe skip one, maybe you can skip two, but don't skip all of them because these points are going to add up. So yeah, do this. Okay, these will be due If I post the lecture up on a Sunday, they'll be due by Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. I don't think that's too much to ask for. Okay, the due dates will be on the calendar that I will show you in a second. Okay, when you post, don't think, oh, I have to post it at certain times so Miss Rodriguez can get to it. Yeah, Miss Rodriguez has Blackboard on her phone now, so any discussion that you post, I'll be able to answer right back. Okay, then I'll send you a smiley face, and then you'll be able to know that I received it. Okay, but please do it before Wednesday at 11:59 because we are very busy, and I know that you all have other things to do. Okay, so there, that is your discussion page. Okay. I know I put everybody in here, so don't tell me that you're not in there. Okay, I double checked. Okay. Next thing I want to talk to you all about is your calendar, the coronavirus update. Okay, I did tweak it a bit. So this is what's going to happen. You will have your readings. So this lecture is supposed to be on March the 31st, okay? So according to this, you are to have read Quitters Incorporated and We Ate the Children Last, which can be found on Blackboard, okay? The discussion for the Horror Terror will be due by Wednesday, April the 1st, at 11:59. Okay, so this discussion has to be up by Wednesday, April 1st, okay? The next lecture will be up. You'll read this. Okay, the discussion for the Eastern European American Dream will be due by Saturday the 4th at 11:59. Now, April the 5th, Horror Terror reader response will be due. This is how it's going to be. Okay, I've tried to space out the assignments so that you'll have enough time. I think I did a good job at it. It gives you the maximum amount of time you can have so that we could finish up the class well. Remember that I do have a calendar and I do have a list of expectations. Okay, we need to continue on, and this is the best way to do it. If I see that something's going on, that we are struggling, we will tweak it a bit, but I think this is the best we're going to be able to do. All right? Read over it. If you have any questions, you can always text me. So for next time, you will read. Where are you? Okay, so for next time you are reading the stories American Eye by Anzia Zediekska and Michael Gold's The Soul Without a Landlord. Short stories, quite easy to read. I think you'll find them quite emotive. Okay, they're very, very good. They're really sad too, so don't think that you guys got away with that. A couple of things I want to show you as well. Let's see. Okay, the reader responses will be up as always. Okay, the reader response for Horror Terror. Okay, as I said, this is its own assignment. I would usually have you choose either an assignment for this reader response on Horror Terror or the American Dream in Eastern Europe. Not this time. I want you all to focus on terror and horror. So for this one, and you're going to have fun at it, I promise. Okay, you will choose a story from the Horror Terror readings folder. Okay. Choose one that you love. Okay, this is what you need to do. Okay, you're going to tell me why you chose this particular story. Please don't say because it was the shortest, okay? Don't do that. I'm going to be unhappy if you do, and then Joe back there is going to have to buy me more Starbucks.
Oh, man.
And he's not going to. Oh, by the way, my husband's taping this, so filming this, so say hi, Joe. You're going to tell me why you chose this particular story, and then you're going to choose a few aspects of the horror terror genre from the PowerPoint presentation I'm going to give you and explain why your chosen story depicts this trope. Okay? You've done this before. I want y'all to have fun with it. It's going to be a page double-spaced, and the due date is here. Okay, so actually I'm going to change the due date on that one. What's the due date? And the due date for this one will be April the 5th. Okay, so that is going to be changed up. Okay. These are the stories I want you to choose from. Okay, I put several of them up so you all would have a good list to choose from. The first one is entitled Children of the Corn. You probably heard of the film. Your parents probably know of it because I do. It's a fun short story. It's by Stephen King. It takes place in the middle of, I believe, like Amish, Pennsylvania. Okay, this couple gets in their car, goes on this trip needing to repair their marriage, and then they get caught up with really weird killer kids. The second story is Dolan's Cadillac. This one is the longest one. I believe it comes in at around 40 pages. It's quite good. It's not the stereotypical scary story by Stephen King. By the way, most of these are by Stephen King. But it is about this idea of revenge and how revenge can take this very horrific, horror-filled turn. Okay, it's a great story. Even if you don't want to write on it, I recommend you read it. It's really good. Gray Matter is also by Stephen King. It's about 10 pages long. This one is about this man who drinks beer that has some sort of weird bacteria, and it turns this man into a blob. It's really cool. Okay, it's fun to read. I Am the Doorway is also by Stephen King. It's about medium length. It's about an astronaut who comes back from Venus and brings something from Venus he wasn't supposed to bring back. Okay, it's a pretty cool story. Night Surf. I really thought about not including this one given our current circumstances. Night Surf is about a group of young men and women who survive an apocalypse that is brought on by the flu. As I said, I really didn't think I was going to be able to teach it, but you know what? It's here. You want? Read it. It's cool. You'll like it. Let's see. Okay, Prologue to City Infernal. This one is, I think, 2 pages long. Okay, and it is the prologue to one of my most favorite novels by Edward Lee. City Infernal talks about hell, and in City Infernal, hell is a city. Okay, everything is topsy-turvy, so instead of the water's running clear, there's actually sewers attached to the water, so they'll be very muddy. It's really gross. It's a great novel. It's short. If you want to choose it, great, but it's short. Okay, you're gonna have to work hard at that one. The End of the Whole Nest is another apocalyptic dystopian short story by Stephen King. Yeah, so read it. The Rish and Sleep Experiment is my favorite creepypasta. Okay, it is great. If you haven't read it, read it. It's terrific. It's really scary. The Graveyard Shift, again by Stephen King. You see this, see a pattern here. The Graveyard Shift is about a young man who takes up who takes up a job working the graveyard shift. It is about giant rats. So, yeah, rats. Second to last is Trucks. It is another Stephen King short story. It is about this dystopian apocalyptic. Okay, yeah, it's. All right, dystopian apocalyptic. You see this. There is a pattern here. A dystopian apocalyptic world where automobiles, trucks, anything basically with 4 wheels that can be driven, take over the world. Okay, it's pretty scary. It's great. And the last one, Without You, is by Del James. And this one is one of my most favorite short stories because it was the basis of the video for Guns N' Roses' November Rain. As I've told you all, November Rain was our wedding song. Right, Joe?
Yes, it was.
And I love the video. I love the song. Read the story. It has a lot to do with drug abuse and the demons of drug abuse and alcohol and how they really wreak havoc on a person. You may not think that this is a story that would fall under the horror terror trope, but I do disagree with it. I think it does. And I think you all should take a look at it if you're interested. Once you choose one of these stories, okay, you will then go back here. Like I said, tell me why you chose it. Choose a few aspects for the PowerPoint. Yeah, plug it in there. And that's it. It'll be due by April the 5th. Okay, so there are all the readings you needed. Okay, there. Okay. So for today, I wanted you all to read, excuse me, Critters Incorporated and We Ate the Children last. We will get started on our lecture right now, but before we do have the book of the day. I love Stephen King. Okay, I love his short stories. I will put up some short stories that I want you all to read or that I suggest that you read later. But my favorite book by Stephen King is Salem's Lot. Okay, the Magnus Opus, depending on who you ask of Stephen King, a lot of people would say it's the Dark Tower series. The Stand, which is a great novel. Okay, it's about people dying of the flu and yeah, it'll be too much right now. But the one that I do love, my favorite one, is Salem's Lot. It talks about vampires, but not in the particular romantic way that Bram Stoker writes about them or that Stephenie Meyer writes about them. No, these vampires are grotesque. They are quite very intelligent, but it's not a fun read. Like I said, when it comes to the vampires are incredibly evil. And it does talk about this idea of what would you do if your entire town was taken over by vampires, including your friends. Okay, would you be able to take them down? Would you be able to take down your wife, your son, your child? Okay, so it's good reading. So, yeah, Salem's Lot. Suggest you read it. It's great. Go buy it. Go download it. Legally. Alright, so for today, we have a couple of things we're going to talk about. Let us look at the PowerPoint presentation first. There we are. From the beginning. Alright, so we're going to talk about horror and terror in literature, among other things. Okay, this is an incredibly popular genre. Okay, this is a genre that, unlike, say, the Westerns, has never gone out of style. Okay, I don't expect this genre to ever go out of style. There are a few traits, so let's talk about this. You have damsels. Okay, otherwise we would call them the last girls. Okay. These damsels, these girls, are not necessarily in distress. Okay, we'll see that right now as well. They are usually escaping from somewhere. Okay, so they're running away. You have the villains that are at times over the top. Okay, so you have like the Michael Myers, the Jason Voorhees, the Freddy Krueger's, Leatherface. Okay, these are very over the top villains. If there's murder, it's very gory. There's depravity. There's a lot of eroticism. Okay, there's sex. And we have ghosts that are apparitions, and they intervene sometimes. Okay, this literature is very emotional, incredibly emotional. It has a lot of emotions come out. It's fear, it's aggression, rage, anger, whatever. Okay, horror and terror are used interchangeably, but do remember they're not the same, and I will explain why in a second. Okay, there's, like I said, anger, love, sadness, hates, all these emotions that come out. It's also very taboo. Okay, you'll see that a lot of novels that fall under this trope, people kind of look at you funny when you're reading them. Okay, I should know I've read them my entire life. So yeah, they also have quite a bit to do with the occult, and there's a lot of Satanism in them. Okay. The location, thing with horror or terror, can be anywhere at any time. Okay, as I said, location anytime, time anywhere, anytime. You have usually the abodes. Okay, so it could take place in a home, in a camp, on a plane, in hospitals, castles, monasteries, churches, schools, cemeteries, mountains, whatever. Okay, horror can take place anywhere, which is one of the charms of the genre. Okay, sometimes this place is isolated. You have mist, fog, and rain. Okay, you'll see this photograph right here, right? 18th century London with the fog and the rain. Yeah, it usually takes place there. But it can take place during the day. Okay, and I think it's interesting that if we talk about horror and terror, how we'll usually say that scary things happen at night, and they do. But good horror and good terror can happen during the day. And I'll show you all a trailer right now of when that happens. It's actually kind of scarier, I think. Okay, one thing I'm going to tell you is this would be called a mare. Okay, nightmare, a mare. Okay, this is one of the easiest ways to describe horror or terror. Okay, somebody like sitting on top of you while you're having a nightmare. Okay, of course, Frankenstein. Y'all, Mary Shelley, a brooding teenager. Hey, Frankenstein, right? Scary. Yes, maybe, no. Don't mess around with Mother Nature. She'll mess around with you right back. Okay, it's one of the earlier examples. Sorry. Okay, Frankenstein is actually very popular as well. Okay, I posted up several covers that we have from Frankenstein. I love this one. It's very postmodern, and I think I have that one. Another one is Dracula. Okay, Bram Stoker's Dracula. By the way, Frankenstein came first. Okay, completely different time periods in literature. Bram Stoker's Dracula, of course, is one of the more famous of these novels. Okay, it is constantly brought up in these discussions. Hey, come on, Dracula. How could you not love Dracula? I just decided to show you all. I don't know why they kind of put this together. I don't know, y'all. I don't know what's going on this cover. Okay, I'm really not sure. But hey, we have it, right? Alright, so can we go back? Okay, so horror and terror, definitely not the same. Okay. Horror is the fear of evil, unknown, or the bizarre. Okay. Horror sometimes is more abstract, as it is a revulsion that occurs after something evil or frightful is put into perception. So for example, you're sitting at home, listening to this lecture, you're home alone, and then you hear something in the kitchen. What was it? You don't know, it's an expectation. Okay, like I said, loud noise in the dark scares the hell out of you. It's very uncertain. You don't quite know what's going on. It could be something creepy. It could be that your dog got up and decided to run around the kitchen. You don't know. Okay, you just don't know. And that's the beauty of horror. Okay, good example is Pazuzu from The Exorcist. When you watch The Exorcist film, and I've had students time and time again tell me it's boring. Okay, it's not, but it's messing with your mind. Okay, when you start the movie, when you start watching the film, and you see the little girl has been possessed by the devil, does that really happen? Does this really exist? I mean, is it all in her head? Is it all in her mom's head? What's going on? Okay, that would be horror. Okay, The Omen. Great film if you haven't watched it. Watch the original, don't watch the new one. Can this cute little boy, he's adorable as hell, can he really be the Antichrist? Maybe, maybe not. We as the audience, we're omnipotent. We know it can be, but the characters really don't. Okay, terror is completely different. Terror is what you're most familiar with. Terror is the fear of immediate dismemberment, physical harm, or death. Terror is tangible. You could taste terror. You could feel it. The anticipation is a common emotional response, and it requires somewhat of a knowledge of what's about to happen. Okay, so for instance, terror. My boy, Michael Myers. Okay, look, I even have a Michael Myers here. Isn't he cute? Look at Michael Myers. Oh, he's so adorable. Look at his little face, his little thing. Okay, we're going to keep him right here so you can see. Don't fall. Michael Myers, right? Okay, if you're in a Halloween movie, you know what's going to, he's going to come after you with the knife. Okay, another one, of course, is also Leatherface. Okay, some guy running after you with a chainsaw. I'd say that's pretty scary. Horror can lead to terror. Okay, this is why it's used sometimes interchangeably. A good example would be It. Okay, because at first, if you're reading the novel, especially the novel, why are these kids dying? Is the clown really killing them? Okay, as an adult, you don't really want to believe it, and then you see the clown coming out and eating a kid's arm. That was kind of creepy. Okay, Joe, go see who it is. Okay, so if you hear any screaming in the background, it means that something's going on over there. Alright, terror, as I said, horror can lead to terror. You're familiar with this. Terror can lead to horror. The film Seven is a good example. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's a great film. What's in the box? Okay, you'll know what I'm talking about when you see that. Okay, problem with horror and terror is it can lead to parody and ridicule. Okay, if it's too much over the top, you're going to wonder what the hell is going on. A good example right here is, I've seen a couple of these. Leprechaun 5, Leprechaun in the Hood. Okay, The Terror's in the House. Yeah. Shark Exorcist. Satan Has Jaws. The next one is Gary Busey is The Gingerbread Man. And then Rubber, which is a film about a killer tire. I've seen 2 of these. They do exist. That's a problem that we have with these sorts of films or these sorts of books. It is very difficult to create a film or a book that scares the hell out of you and is not completely stupid and can be lend itself to parody or ridicule. Okay, so I think we're done with this one. All right, keep this in mind when you are listening to the lecture and when you're reading your story. Okay, you all know where to find that. Before we get started on the actual stories, I'm going to show you a couple of trailers. Okay, so first one is The Exorcist, and going on with our definition of horror and terror, which we'll go back here. Where are we? Hang on. Okay, remember that horror is the fear of the unknown, don't know quite what's going on. Okay. If you look at that, a good example of horror would be The Exorcist. Okay. Before I show you this, if you get migraines from flashing lights, okay, wait, hang on. If you get migraines for flashing lights, or if you can get a seizure from them, please stop watching it, because it's going to have a lot of flashy lights. Okay, so like I said, any sufferers from migraines or seizures, please don't watch this.
Something beyond comprehension is happening to a little girl on the street. In this house, a man has been sent for as a last resort to try and save her.
Alright. So, we're going to end this lecture right now, and then we're going to pick up on our ideas and thoughts in the second video.